right, old school skaters, it's that time of year again. Time to set up our Halloween yard hunt. We're starting to get our stuff out. I was just taking away all the summer stuff, so all the stuff that we had out here, our pinwheels and all of our frog planters and all that stuff is going away. We will set up our Halloween stuff tonight. Should be interesting. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow. My intention was to do it tomorrow, but I just finished work for the day, so I'm going to get started early on it today, get everything set up. It is a different setup this year. I have the fenced yard, so I'm not sure how I'm going to set everything up. In the past, I would actually create small fences and stuff. I don't think I will this year. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put over in this mulched area and how I want to set that up. So I've got some work to do in front of me to lay out this differently this year because this is the first time it's going to be set up differently. I do have a lot of purple and orange lights that'll go along the fence that should look pretty cool at night. We're going to set that up. I've got some spiders to put along the fence, which I think would be pretty neat too. So I think I have some cool stuff. I have some ideas. But this is a completely different setup. Like last year, I'll show you some of the stuff that we did, how we set some stuff up to make it simple for you. And I'll show you some video at the end of the night as we go through. This is actually our most popular video last year on the channel, was our Halloween yard haunt setup. So hopefully you enjoyed this one this year. Hopefully I'm a little better at setting up the videos than I was last year, and we have some fun with it. But we'll come back and see in just a little bit as we start to get everything set up in the yard. Over the years, I always had a tough time keeping the lights in. I used to basically do like zip ties. But I found if we do like this S pattern, the lights tend to stay, and they look awesome because you're covering the whole area. So if you have enough lights, we have like a 300 count here. It should let me get across the whole front of the fence and get a really cool orange setup in here. So it should be really cool as we go through, and we shouldn't have any issue covering that area or having these things blow away or lose them as we're going through. Now, the one mess up here that I just did, so what I want to do is I want to make it more visually pleasing. So when I have this, I'm going to go wrap it and then go back around the front, so I have the orange lights in the front, and swing back around the other way. So you're back in just a minute. All right, guys, we got our lights up. We've got some little guys over here, some of these little ghoul guys. We've got some hands sticking out. I'll back and show you in 1 second. And I come back and walk through the yard. We're gonna try to simplify it this year. It's been a lot of stuff. And we've been using the yard to let the dogs run around more, so I'm gonna try to leave a space kind of cordoned off that the dogs can use. That doesn't tie into all the Halloween stuff. With the fence now, I don't think it'd be too bad. I can leave off the back part of the yard. I'll show you in a second. They should be okay. But let me go through and show you how I'm thinking about the rest of this and what we're gonna put on here. All right, so I pulled out what we had. I've been using the metal tombstones. I really wish I could buy more of them. I couldn't find any this year. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So much easier than the styrofoam. They just stay in place. They're great. We've got our zombie here. We've got Jason and Freddy. Jason's looking real rough this year. Freddy's looking not as bad as Jason. We've hung up a couple of our ghouls, our werewolf, our guy here. We're starting to put some folks here. We've got a spider here with our victim. We'll have to leave on the other side of the fence, which should be kind of fun. So we're gonna go through now and just find out where else we want to place some tombstones. We'll put some more up here. We did have some fun. We put our skeleton here with Sam, and we took one of the old harnesses from the dogs and we put the leash and the harness on it. So it's actually kind of a neat little setup. My wife bought this bench last year and we can use this for our decorations. So I think, again, we're gonna keep it more simple this year. I think we'll have less stuff, but I think when we're said and done, it should all be pretty cool pieces. We've got our skull and crossbones here. This guy's been like a staple since day one, since we've been doing this. So I'll come back in a few minutes to show you kind of where we're making our progress and what else we have in the yard. So I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. All right, as we're setting up, we talked about this last year. Styrofoam tombstones, duct tape on the tombstone, duct tape over that. We use the wooden slats or we use the pegs, depending on the size of the tombstone. But the other key thing is zip ties and small bungee cords. These actually work great as we're trying to set up. Like in a second, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna set up my my skeleton over here. I'm gonna lock him into this bench. So what I usually do is on this one, I think what I'll do is I'll probably go with the bungees. So I'll show you in just a second what I'm gonna do here. All right, so we used our green bungee. We bungeed the hand here. Now I have two options. I could either go with a zip tie here from the headpiece, but what I'm gonna do on this, because he's yellow, is I'm actually gonna go through the ribs with the mini bungee cord, and I'm gonna come back around and lock him into here. That way he shouldn't go anywhere during the whole season. Now with Sam, I'm probably gonna do the zip tie, because you can see with his height, I can do one zip tie here and then one zip tie in the arm. He shouldn't go anywhere. And this should be fun this year. Like I said, last year we had him mowing the lawn. This year we have him sitting kind of looking at the graveyard with his puppy. So should be fun. We'll set up in just a second. We'll come back and show you a little bit more after. So as you can see, we have him locked in here. He's not going anywhere. The bungees are tight. It doesn't, again, with the green on the yellow, it blends in fairly well, so it's not a super obtrusive setup. It looks good. We're going to go back and do Sam, and we'll show you back in that in just 1 second. So one of the things I used to always struggle with when I first started doing my yard haunts was I was always worried about like the setup of the graveyard. And then I came to realize like graveyards, especially old ones, are kind of a mess. Like you'll have a tombstone over here, you'll have some that are lined up together, and you'll have some that aren't. And what I intentionally do is I actually try to line up like some that'll be behind each other, some that are right in front of each other, some that are staggered at a diagonal. And that's intentional, right? Because again, I want it to have a feel of an old style graveyard. And I want to have some fun with it. Like I said, again, every year I do a little something different. This year I decided to put like the spider on the skull here. We've got a couple of our hanging guys up so far this year. Like I said, we threw our skeleton and Sam over on the bench. Just have fun with it, right? The whole thing with a Halloween yard haunt is to have fun with everybody. Like I said, most of my stuff isn't going to, not most of it, but probably about a third of my stuff won't come out until closer to Halloween because it's not waterproof. But I do want to get everything lined up that I can use. So I want to set up all the lights tonight that can reflect off of the house. I'll have the stuff that'll be in the yard. Obviously the lights on the fence. So again, it's about having fun, setting it up for the whole year for the neighborhood to enjoy. But again, don't go too crazy. And I'm about to have my little buddy come out. So I'll let him come out if he comes out. Elvis, come on out, bud. So I'm trying to figure out, my dogs are not going to be happy. This was, like I said, set up for them. You see, this is their little dog bed here, and that's their toys. So Penny, that's my bulldog. They're not going to be very happy with our Halloween setup here because they like to use this area. And Elvie opened the door, but then left it open. So if they come back out, I'll share them with you. But again, the key to this whole thing is just have fun. Don't overthink it. You don't got to go crazy. It doesn't have to be lined up perfect. Again, I think it has a more authentic feel when it isn't lined up perfectly. So, figure out where you want to put everything, but just have some fun with it. These dogs don't know what to make of it. This has been their yard all year. And like I said, we set up for them when we built this year. So they're a little confused as we're setting everything up. But we're going to leave space for them so they have places to play and do the bathroom and all their business. But they seem pretty excited actually to play and sniff all the new stuff. So come back in just a minute as I finish up and show you the kind of the finished product until we get closer to Halloween. All right, guys, so we're almost done with our layout this year. We've had some guys, like this little Spectre guy kind of fell apart on me, so he's going to go on the ground by a tombstone. We've got our welcome sign, our skull and crossbones, like I said, Sam, our skeleton, our dog. We've got 3 of our guys hanging up. Freddie and Jason are back as usual. We've got our zombie body parts, our zombie walker. We've got our spider, our skeleton spider with the little baby skeleton spiders. We've got a couple of ghouls here. We've got our guys here. We did hang up a witch over here. We're going to try to get a couple more of those at like 5 below that we can put on the outside of the fence. It was funny. I said to my wife I wasn't going to go that big this year, and I think it's definitely a lot less than it was in the last couple of years, but it's still a ton of stuff. As I start going through and setting up, I'm trying to figure out areas not to take up the whole yard. But I still think we didn't do a great job of that because the yard is still pretty full again this year. But I always have a lot of fun with it. Again, this has been kind of a neighborhood tradition. I'll get asked if it's not done in the next couple of days. Like, hey, what's going on? It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Today's the 30th of September, so we're a little over a month away from Halloween. So we'll have this out for the next month or so. I'll typically take the flag in soon. And what's crazy is we had a really hot, dry summer. And with the weather that came back in the last month or so, all of our flowers have rebloomed. So I haven't had to deal with this in the last few years. But all of my flowers are beautiful right now. My rose bushes are blooming. My flowers up in my flower pots and down here all have a lot of color. And I don't want to kill them. So I'm trying not to put a ton of stuff on there like I would have done in years past to kind of wreck the flowers as well. But again, this is always a lot of fun. I think this will probably be the last year for Jason. Freddie might get another year. Jason's toast. His whole mask is all cracked and dry. But we have a lot of fun. Again, on Halloween night, I have a much larger pumpkin that comes out. I have our pumpkin. I have a zombie, electric zombie that comes out. I have a scarecrow type figure that comes out. We've got a few guys that we hang up that can't stay out all season. So there's still a lot more stuff to come. So come back and check us out around Halloween. I'll redo another video around Halloween night. And then I'm going to come back tonight once I get all the lights set up and it gets darker. And I'll shoot a video with all the lights on that you can see that hopefully everything lights up as best as we can. I need to get some more batteries at work so I can go through and replace everything. Some of these guys, like the skeletons and stuff up here, don't work very well, but those pumpkins, that pumpkin should all light up. My skeleton over here is live, should light up. A couple of these other guys still work. So that's the hard part too, is as you go through this over the years, the stuff just stops working and then you're adding more stuff in. I think I just hit the point of being overwhelmed this year. My wife was like, what's going on? You don't seem as enthusiastic. And I think I just got overwhelmed with all the stuff I had and trying to find the right space and not making it look too crowded, but also leaving a little space at the top for the dogs. So I hope you enjoy the yard haunt as much as I kind of wasn't feeling it when I set up the yard this year. And then I came back tonight with the lights on and I'm feeling it now. We got the Haunted Mansion set up over there, which you can see on the display. We have our big skull here, which I always think looks kind of cool. He's obviously thrown off a little bit by the rose bushes. We got our haunted house scene. We've got some of the lights with the strobes. We've got purple and orange this year for our Halloween lights on the fence. We got our strobe lights kind of going and showing off the zombies. I think this looks really cool this year, and I'm actually much happier than I was earlier when I was thinking about. I just wasn't digging it. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, like I said at the beginning of this year. It's been tough. I've done this a lot of years, but I think it looks awesome at night, and I love, again, the feel we have right now. I think, again, less was more this year, you know, trying to figure everything out, and I think it came out great, and I'm actually really happy with it now that we have everything lit up at night. And we'll have a bunch more coming out on Halloween night that I'll share with you guys. It's just stuff that I can't leave out all the time because it'll get messed up. So, all right, thank you for checking us out. Thanks for checking out the channel. I know this is one of our more popular videos last year, so hopefully you enjoyed it this year again as we were setting up the yard haunt. And, you know, if you haven't had a chance so far, hit that like and subscribe button. Keep an eye out. There's going to be a ton more stuff coming up very soon. Thanks, guys.